India. Geopolitics aside, India has created a new global welfare economics paradigm. India steered clear of pumping cash into a vulnerable economy and avoided falling in debt trap that many global economies find themselves in today. Despite global headwinds, India is standing tall. As the world looms in recession, India continues to grow. As the Fed tightens monetary policy, the Indian rupee is still amongst the least depreciated currencies in the world. The IMF talks of India as a bright spot in view of our macroeconomic fundamentals being ahead of the curve. We will be the nation with largest youth demographic, offering an unrivaled dividend. Prime Minister Modi has set a developed nation target for India by 2047, the centenary of independence. The next 25 years will be India's quarter century. This is the mission statement for all Indian origin people, and believe me, we are a world unto ourselves. In conclusion, I would like to recall what Victor Hugo said many, many years ago. No power on earth can stop an idea whose time has come. India's time has come. Our time has come. Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Baldas. તમારા પ્રેરક પ્રવચન માટે અને હવે કાર્યક્રમને વધુ આગળ ધપાવીશું.
धन्यवाद. इसी बीच हमारे साथ ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फॉर एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स एंड कल्चरल गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया मीनाक्षी लेखी जी यहाँ पर बता रहे हैं. हम उनका तहे दिल से स्वागत करते हैं. TV9 और आईना की ओर से मीनाक्षी जी आपका हम सहर्ष स्वागत करते हैं. आईना एक એવું નામ છે જેણે અમેરિકામાં, ભારતમાં અને અન્ય દેશોમાં પણ ગુજરાતીતા અને ગુજરાતી સંસ્કૃતિની વાતને મૂકી આપી. 2006, 8, 12, 15 અને 2018માં ચલો ગુજરાતનું આયોજન કર્યું. એની સાથે સાથે જ ડોમેસ્ટિક ઇન્ટરનેશનલ ઇવેન્ટ્સ પણ કરી અને ચલો ઇન્ડિયા એનું પણ આયોજન કર્યું. હવે પછી હું વિનંતી કરવા જઈ રહ્યો છું એસોસિએશન ઓફ ઇન્ડિયન અમેરિકન્સ ઓફ નોર્થ અમેરિકા આઈના એના પ્રેસિડેન્ટ શ્રી સુનિલ નાયકને કે આ આખાએ પર્વ વિશે વાત કરવા માટે આપ મંચ પર પધારો. તાળીઓથી આપણે સ્વાગત કરીએ અને વિનંતી કરીએ શ્રી સુનિલ નાયકને આ ઉદ્ઘાટન પર્વે એમની વાત મૂકવા માટે.
परम पूज्य श्री ब्रह्मविहारी स्वामी जी, पूज्य दाजी जी, आदरणीय गुरुप्रधान श्री संघवी जी, श्रीमती मीनाक्षी लेखी जी, अन्य उपस्थित महानुभावों, અત્રે પધારેલ આદરણીય મહેમાનો, ગુજરાતના જુદા જુદા ખૂણાઓમાંથી પધારેલ ગુજરાતવાસીઓ તથા ગુજરાત અને દેશભરથી પધારેલ, ગુજરાત અને દેશથી બહારથી પધારેલ ગુજરાત વંશીઓ, આપ સૌનું આઈના અને TV9 વતી ખૂબ ખૂબ સ્વાગત. With this program, when I came here, or back in America, when we organize Chalo Gujarat or Chalo India, people do ask us, why are you doing this? What is the motivation? Because of lack of time, I'll keep it short. The thing is, when you leave your home or when you leave your home country, you leave a little piece of your heart behind. And then you may forget about that piece altogether. Or you may let it grow inside of you as a small wound. the chronic pain of this wound gives birth to the organization. Most of the organizations like AINA are the re-establishments of the diaspora's lost villages, cities, and its culture. Now, diaspora is a word in the dictionaries only for a few decades. But immigration has been an important aspect of Gujaratis for centuries. And through all these immigration that has been happening for centuries, the end result is that now there are 35 lakh Gujaratis outside of India. This pool of people is extremely significant and an undisputed resource. And I'll give you a quick example. Do you know what is common between Gandhiji, Sardar Patel, Subhash Chandra Bose, Ambedkar, Vikram Sarabhai, and many more? Yes, they were all freedom fighters. But besides that, they were all part of a diaspora. I don't need to tell you about their contribution and how important of a resource, these stalwarts were. Friends, remittances and philanthropies have helped the families, the villages, cities, or to the country's economy. But I would still like to give you, I can keep, if I had time, I would have given you much more data. I would have given you a lot of figures of the remittances, and you've been hearing about it a lot. But right now, I'll just give you one example. હમણાં જે કોવિડ ગયો, એ કોવિડના સેકન્ડ વેવમાં ફક્ત 1 મહિનામાં ડિપોઝિટ્સ જે ફોરેનથી અહીંયા આવે છે એમાં 6,000 કરોડનો વધારો થયો હતો ફક્ત 1 મહિનામાં. This is all the money that was being sent by the diaspora to the families here. એક જ ક્વાર્ટરમાં 85,000 કરોડનો વધારો ડિપોઝિટ્સમાં થયો હતો. Just to help people in India by the diaspora. That is just an example. As important a role that Gujarati diaspora has played in Gujarat, they have also taken Gujarat and Gujaratism to the world. I would be remiss not to mention the culture. Gujarati culture is the glue that binds our diaspora together. While the real power of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has shown the world what Gujarat or Gujarati is capable of. Garba, Ras, Gujarati cuisine, and now even our movies has helped in creating a unique identity of Gujaratis. Our greetings are getting global. I am in hospitality industry and I develop hotels. When I go to my sites, when I greet my contractors with a good morning, they turn around and tell me Kem cho. When I meet my employees now, when I tell them how are you, they turn around and say Jai Shri Krishna. So, the power of, the soft power is something that's visible all over. Our culture has been setting records. Edison Ma, when we did the Chalo Gujarat for the first time, in the history of New Jersey, it was first time where the roads were blocked, where the local road was blocked, the 2 county roads were blocked, and even the state highway was blocked. 6 mile lambi laino, આવા એક ગુજરાતી કલ્ચર કાર્યક્રમમાં થાય, that has never happened in history of America before. So those are just some examples of how the diaspora is contributing in making our culture global. I know you will hear many other examples during the forum. Friends, engagement with diaspora is also a responsibility. One of the most significant areas of promoting the engaging the diaspora challenge is to prepare young generation of Gujaratis by inculcating their interest in Indian culture and its development. One of the challenges that our kids have been facing is, they have to straddle between two polar cultures, two civilizations that are quite divergent from each other. In America, a young American of Indian roots stated, "We are considered too American by Indian standards and too Indian by American standards." Thus, we don't know if we belong to both the countries or we belong to none. They have been given a lot of derogatory, terms also. A decade back, they were ridiculed in USA as ABCDs, which stands for American Born Confused ACs. And in Britain, it was the BBBs, which stands for Born and Brought Up in Britain. The BBBs and the ABCDs are compared to a coconut, which is brown from outside, but behaviorally white inside. It is our responsibility to help them overcome these challenges and still keep them connected to our culture and our home country. The Indian government in last few years has taken the relationship with diaspora very seriously. Besides many other initiatives to mark the contribution of overseas Indian community towards the development of India, Indian government celebrates by organizing mega event, the Pravasi Gujarati Divas, on January 9th every year. The day commemorates the return of Mahatma Gandhi from South Africa to Mumbai on 9th January in the year 1915. Overall, the cocktail of government, religious organizations like BAPS, and diaspora in common has brought in great success. But while we have had our achievements, there is a lot that needs to be done. And thus, TV9 and AINA took this initiative to organize Pravasi Gujarati Parv. This conference has brought together eminent diaspora personalities and associations involved in propagation of Gujarati culture and to discuss innovative ways of leveraging the diaspora to enhance Gujarat's soft power. The program for this forum is both deep and diverse. In fact, many of the panel discussions alone would be worthy of conferences in their own right. It is a parva to connect Gujaratis from outside of Gujarat and from outside of India. The base and the theme of the program is connect, communicate, contribute, and celebrate. It is self-explanatory and thus needs no explanation or elaboration. Friends, take advantage of meeting and discussing with the most successful people in their respective fields here. And we have them from all the aspects of life: spiritual, business, science, economics, politics, social service, films, dance, music, and much more. Your Excellencies, my brothers and sisters in the diaspora, this is your home. Please take part in the discussions that are geared towards developing our state and to strengthen the diaspora. Let us mobilize our expertise, our resources, and our dedication to help our home state and together lay the foundations of the prosperity. Let us create a Gujarat where migration is a matter of choice and not a necessity. Thank you so much.
આભાર નાયક સાહેબ. વિદેશમાં વસતા ગુજરાતીઓને હૂંફ જો મળતી હોય તો ત્યાં સંગઠન દ્વારા મળે છે. ખૂબ સુંદર કામગીરી આઈનાની.
ધન્યવાદ. અને હવે કાર્યક્રમમાં આગળ વધીએ. મહાનુભાવોને મંચ પર આવવા માટે સાદર નિમંત્રિત કરી રહ્યા છે. તેઓ મંચ પર પધારે ત્યારે આપણે આપણા ઉમળકાને તાળીઓમાં પરિવર્તિત કરી અને એમને આવકારીશું. સર્વપ્રથમ પૂજ્ય બ્રહ્મવિહારી સ્વામીજીને સાદર વિનંતી કરીએ કે આપ મંચ પર બિરાજમાન થશો. પૂજ્ય બ્રહ્મવિહારી સ્વામીજી.
ત્યારબાદ બોલાવીશ સ્પિરિચ્યુઅલ લીડર શ્રી કમલેશ પટેલ દાજીને. શ્રી રામચંદ્ર મિશન હાર્ટફુલનેસથી પ્રચલિત 150 દેશોમાં આધ્યાત્મનો ફેલાવો કમલેશભાઈ પટેલ કરી રહ્યા છે.
એના પછીના ક્રમે પ્રેસિડેન્ટ આઈના શ્રી સુનિલ નાયકને મંચ પર આવવા માટે સાદર વિનંતી છે. શ્રી સુનિલ નાયક.
આમંત્રિત કરીશ જેમની ફિલ્મ હમણાંથી ખૂબ ચર્ચામાં છે છેલ્લો શો જે નોમિનેટ થઈ છે ઓસ્કાર માટે એવા ફિલ્મ મેકર શ્રી પાન નલિનને.
એ પછીના ક્રમે CEO પેટ્રોકેમ યોગેશ મહેતાને સાદર વિનંતી કરીએ ટુ કમ આઉટ ટુ ધ સ્ટેજ. યોગેશ મહેતા.
તાળીઓથી સ્વાગત કરીએ તમામનું. ત્યાર પછી આમંત્રિત કરીશ મારા ગ્રુપના ફાઉન્ડર ઉદ્યોગ સાહસિક એવા આશીષભાઈ ઠક્કરને. આપ સ્ટેજ પર આવો.
અંકુર વૈદ્ય, પ્રેસિડેન્ટ FIA. અંકુર વૈદ્યને મંચ પર પધારવા સાદર વિનંતી છે.
ખૂબ ખૂબ તાળીઓથી સ્વાગત આપ સૌ મહાનુભાવોનું. આપ સૌને સન્માનવાનો મોકો આ મંચને મળ્યો છે તે બદલ અમે ખૂબ આભારી છીએ.
આ એવા મહાનુભાવો છે, આ એવા વ્યક્તિત્વો છે જેમની સાથે, જેમની ચેતનામાં, જેમની ઓરામાં ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક પધારો. પૂજ્ય શ્રી દાજી એમને તેઓ મંચ પર આવી રહ્યા છે, આપણે એમને પણ મંચ પર આવકારીએ. આ એવા મહાનુભાવો છે જેમના વિચારો ક્યાંક ઓરામાં આપણે હોઈએ તો ક્યારેક ઉદ્યોગ ક્ષેત્રમાં કોઈ સ્પાર્ક આવે ને ક્યારેક આધ્યાત્મિક ક્ષેત્રમાં આપણને એના વિચારો થકી ક્યાંક પ્રેરણા મળતી હોય છે. એવા વ્યક્તિત્વ આજે મંચ પર બિરાજમાન છે. પ્રવાસી ગુજરાતીઓનો આ પર્વ છે અને પ્રવાસી ગુજરાતીઓના પર્વમાં હવે સર્વપ્રથમ આશીર્વચન માટે હું જેમને વિનંતી કરવા જઈ રહ્યો છું એ છે પૂજ્ય બ્રહ્મવિહારી સ્વામીજી. માણસ માત્રને બધું જ સુખ મેળવવું છે, માણસ માત્રને બધાને પોતાનું જ ધાર્યું થાય ને એવું કરવું છે. અને એવા સંજોગોમાં આપણે જીવી રહ્યા છીએ ત્યારે આપણે માર્ગમાં, રસ્તામાં નીકળ્યા હોઈએ ત્યારે પેલા નટને યાદ કરીએ કે જે બે પોલ હોય, બે પોલ પર એક દોરી હોય ને દોરી પર સંતુલન જાળવતી એક નાનકડી દીકરી હોય. એ શરીરનું અદ્ભુત સંતુલન જાળવે છે. માણસ કદાચ શરીરનું સંતુલન બરાબર જાળવી શકે પણ મનના સંતુલનનું શું? ભૂતકાળનો ડર, આજની ચિંતા અને ભવિષ્યની પણ ચિંતા, આ બધાની વચ્ચે ક્યાંક માર્ગ જોઈતો હોય તો આખરે આપણે અધ્યાત્મ પાસે જતા હોઈએ છીએ. બેપ્સ સંસ્થા, એનું અધ્યાત્મ જગત, એનું માનવતાપૂર્ણ કાર્યોનું જગત અને એનું સંસ્કાર જગત, લાખો યુવાનોને જેમણે પોતાના વિચારોથી પ્રેરિત કર્યા, એવા પૂજ્ય બ્રહ્મવિહારી સ્વામીજીને આપણે તાળીઓના ગર્જન સાથે આવકારીએ અને એમને સાદર વિનંતી કરીએ આપણને સૌને આ પ્રવાસી ગુજરાતી પર્વમાં તેઓ એમના વિચારોથી પ્રેરિત કરે. આદરણીય પૂજ્ય બ્રહ્મવિહારી સ્વામીજી.
ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. With these ancient prayers for peace, and also in the divine spiritual presence of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, in the equally divine presence of our Guru Hari Pramukh Swami Maharaj, Guru Hari Mahan Swami Maharaj. But apart from the spiritual presence, in the virtual presence of all the leaders of India, but most beloved presence, the actual presence of all of you who have spent that time and taken the effort to be with us today in the most precious presence of both the distinguished guests and all the people who are present here. Perhaps this idea of spirituality, virtual and actual, beautifully summarizes the Parva that we are celebrating in the next couple of days. What do I mean? Because Gujaratis have the flavor of beautifully blending in the spiritual, the actual, and the virtual. Let me explain in a very simple way that all of you have come from far afield. As mentioned by Honorable Home Minister of India, from more than 20 countries and as many fields and professions. But at the same time, I was thinking as I was sitting down there and listening to everybody, at the same time, we have gathered here not to tell the world that Gujarati are great, but we have gathered today to tell the world that Gujaratis are good. Perhaps being good is far more important than being just great. Of course, this is a gathering of greatness, but making it a gathering of goodness will keep us shielded from arrogance. We are not here to amplify our arrogance, but we are here to exemplify our assurance to the world that together we can make a difference. As it was already echoed, કે જ્યાં વસે એક ગુજરાતી, ત્યાં સદાકાળ ગુજરાત. Let's think of this whole sentence in a different angle. જ્યાં વસે એક ગુજરાતી, you know what it means? Gujaratis have the power of one. You may need many people of some other communities, but one Gujarati is enough to create a Gujarat and the experience of Gujarat. Never underestimate the power of one. The world needed just one Edison, and suddenly there was light. The world needed just one Nelson Mandela, and the whole of South Africa has remained gelled together. The world needed just one Neil Armstrong. You and I are never going to go to the moon, and yet we celebrate that man has conquered the moon. And the world needed just one Mahatma Gandhi. It changed the meaning of revolution. If one Gujarati can do so much, imagine what two Gujaratis can do. And I'm here to remind you, because as we are also celebrating 75 years of India's independence, the architects of independent India were two mighty Gujaratis, Mahatma Gandhi and Sardar Patel. Not only did they set India free, they unified India as we know it. But come 75 years ahead in time, as Providence would have it, સંજોગ અવસાદ હું વાત કરું છું કે 75 વર્ષ પહેલા બે ગુજરાતી ભારતને સ્વતંત્રતા અપાવ્યું, અને આજે પણ the architects of modern, safe, courageous, bold and brave India are two Gujaratis, Sri Narendrabhai Modi and Amitbhai Shah. What is the probability? But it gives you and me assurance that yes, if we think and if we are united and if our purpose is clear, we can make a difference wherever we are. His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj often explained to us. He said, of course we should celebrate the heroes of the past. But how do we want to celebrate the heroes of the past? By becoming the heroes of tomorrow. It's no use just sitting and applauding. It's no use just sitting and dreaming. Can you and I make a difference? Because the quality of a Gujarati is not just limited to Gujarat. Let's think ahead. As a famous poet Uma Shankar Joshi said, "Evo to kevo Gujarati, je ho Gujarati kevad." એવો કયો ગુજરાતી જે એવું કહે કે હું કેવળ ગુજરાતી. ગુજરાતી તો વિશ્વ માનવ છે અને ગુજરાતી તો વિશ્વ જાતિ છે. The people who have actually created India, who lead Gujarat, and when you yourself are a person who is making a difference in your position, your field, you are not ordinary. You have come from across the world and you have made a difference in your field and in your place of stay where you stay. But the power of a real Gujarati is not just by being a proud Gujarati. The real power lies in being a proud Indian, and it also lies in being a proud citizen of the world. We cannot limit ourselves to just a place or a language or just to a position. Can we contribute to the world scenario? And yes, we can. Just recently, as I have just explained, from a dependent India, we became an independent India. Now we have become a dependable India. I'll tell you why. I'm not just picking these words out of the lexicon or a dictionary. I've experienced it firsthand. Just 2 weeks ago, we were in France. And I think I need to share with you, all of you who are rational and thinkers, France is a religiously irreligious country. I think you understand what I'm trying to tell you. Where religion is a footnote. And I want to also explain that in France, when BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha was given a land to build the first traditional Hindu temple in the whole of mainland Europe, when we were sitting with the former Prime Minister of France, Raffarin, the chief editor of La Figaro, Renaud Girard, and when we were discussing with some of the finest minds of France, you know what came up? All the people in one voice said, now please mark these words. These are not my words, but these are the words you should spread. All these thinkers of France, they told us, they said, Your Holiness, at a time when Europe is fragmenting, we are all looking towards India. Our president has told us that be India-centric. And now wait for the biggest surprise that I got. They said that there are superpowers in the world, but there are also stable powers. India is a stable power because it has the depth of spirituality. You have a leader in your Prime Minister Modi, and you have great leaders in your traders and businessmen. So I wanted to tell you that when the world is looking towards India, and it's not just us or the President of Mexico, it's not just Europe, it's not just other people. Inside their heart, that people know that India is a stable power. But it's not just limited to that. Just think, one of the most profound and most powerful leaders of the world is considered to be our Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi, who is a Gujarati. One of the most successful businessmen of the world is considered to be Gautam Bhai Adani, who is a Gujarati. And very humbly I want to share with you, often called the greatest saint of this century, His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj too was a Gujarati. All these three people have taken the roots of Gujarat, never sacrificing the roots. Despite being the Prime Minister, Narendra Bhai Modi kept up the culture of fasting 9 days in Navratri. Find me one leader who could sit and sip water in the presence of the President of America. Culture was never diminished. Despite being a great businessman, I still remember every time Gautam Bhai takes his flight from London, he asks for pure food from the Nisdan Swaminarayan Mandir. Never sacrifice the principles. And despite being invited by the United Nations, where more than 2,000 religious leaders were present, and we were told that in United Nations you can only speak the national language, still Pramukh Swami Maharaj chose to speak in Gujarati. First time ever Gujarati was spoken in the United Nations. Being proud of your roots does not make you limited. It actually gives you a scope of having the whole globe before you. So let us understand that we have gathered here today not just to celebrate the greatness of Gujaratis, but the goodness. Some wise man told me that Gujaratis stands for G for generosity, U for understanding. We have an amazing ability to understand. J for being just and jovial. A for being adventurous. Gujaratis are adventurous. R for being reliable. Very important, if nothing works, a Gujarati will work. A for being aware. Despite being humble, we are aware of everything. T for being trustworthy. I for being industrious. And S for being simple and spiritual. This is the acronym of Gujaratis. We have a value system. And I will just leave you with one simple story that I wanted to share with you. The value system is so important for all of us to preserve. The most important fact, I will leave you with one idea and conclude what I wanted to share with you. That once there was an emperor, and the emperor had 3 sons. આ સમ્રાટ પાસે 3 દીકરાઓ હતા અને સમ્રાટની ઈચ્છા હતી કે કોને હું મારું સામ્રાજ્ય આપું. So the emperor comes to his 3 sons and he says that I'm giving you a golden chest. એક નાની સુવર્ણમય પેટી આપું છું. અને 3 દીકરાઓને કહ્યું કે હું 10 વર્ષ માટે જંગલમાં જાઉં છું, 10 વર્ષ પછી I will return back. Please take care of this golden chest. This is an important lesson for all our children, as Sunil Bhai just mentioned. He said, take care of this chest, I will come back after 10 years. 10 વર્ષ પછી, after 10 years, એ સમ્રાટ પાછા આવે છે. He goes to the eldest son and he asks that where is the chest? એ જે એમનો શ્રેષ્ઠ સન હતો એને કહે છે કે પિતાજી મને ખબર જ હતી તમે મારી પાસે પહેલા આવશો. So I have kept that chest for the last 10 years in a safe place, guarded it by royal guards. Nobody has gone in and nobody has come out. Here the chest is for you and with you as you gave me. Preservation. એ ચેસ્ટની અંદર, એ નાના બોક્સની અંદર બિયારણ હતું, seeds. So he said, I'm giving you your seeds back as they were. Preservation. Preserve them as they were. બીજા દીકરા પાસે જાય છે અને બીજો દીકરો એવું કહે છે કે પિતાજી મેં જોયું અંદર seeds હતા. દર વર્ષે seeds બગડી જાય એટલે દર વર્ષે હું એના જૂના seed કાઢી અને એટલા જ નવા લેતો હતો. એટલે મેં તમને અત્યારે હું જે બિયારણ આપું છું તો કાલે તમે વાવો અને ઉગી શકે એવું બિયારણ છે. His job was transformation. એક જતન, બીજું પરિવર્તન. અને ત્રીજા દીકરા પાસે જાય છે કે બેટા મેં તને જે બોક્સ આપ્યું હતું એ ક્યાં છે? The little kid takes his father to the back of the palace and shows him, Father, can you see a forest? He said, yes. I saw that the seeds are not to be preserved, the seeds are to be planted. I have planted those trees and the forest you see are the seeds that you gave me to keep. We have 3 choices before us, all Gujaratis sitting here. Do you want to preserve the values? Do we want to transform the values? Or do we want to regenerate the values? Some might say preserve, some might say transform, and some might say regenerate. My attitude is all three. There are a couple of values of love, relationship, of joy we should preserve as they are. The values that give us success, the values that give us prominence in this world, we should keep transforming and evolving. And the values of our own belief and our own dreams, we should keep planting and regenerating. Today is a gathering of preservation, of transformation and regeneration, the values that make Gujaratis great and good, which is the single most value that really identifies us. Today happens to be the birthday of President Abdul Kalam, 15th October. I knew him for 20 years. He loved Pramukh Swami Maharaj as his ultimate guru. And in my conversations with him, he once told me that, do you know what is the greatest quality of a Gujarati? Of course, I said generosity, understanding, adventurous. I said so many values. But Dr. Kalam, what a wise man. You know what he said? Gujaratis are the most peaceful people on this planet. And that's what I want you to do. Of course, you can become famous as traders. You can become famous as thinkers. Of course, go forward and become great, famous as actors, performers. Be famous in everything you do. But our trademark is peacemakers. Can you go home and make greater peace at home? Greater peace in your neighborhood, greater peace in the workplace. Can you go home and make a greater peace in your region, in the country, and everywhere? If we are the greatest peacemakers, the compassionate people, I want to tell you that it is still possible, even if it seems like a dream. I will end with something that somebody asked me to share in just a couple of minutes. Recently, I think you know that Amit Bhai mentioned that the Prime Minister has made great temples and great spiritual regeneration of complexes in India. But I also want to share that there's nothing like a limit to any Gujarati mind or heart. You might have heard there is a temple which is coming up in Abu Dhabi. It is the first of its kind in the history of human civilization. Remember, when a Muslim king donates land for a Hindu temple, where our chief architect is a Christian Catholic, where our chief consultant is a Chinese who believes in goodness, where our project director is a Sikh, where the construction company is Shapurji Palanji Parsis, where the chairman of the entire project is from a Jain tradition, and the foundation makers are Buddhist. This is the BAPS Hindu Mandir in Abu Dhabi, but it has happened because His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj, who was Gujarati by birth, he said a prayer that there will be a temple in Abu Dhabi, and the will of our Prime Minister, who believes that along with trade and supremacy, culture and spirituality are equally important. I would leave you this morning with just the one idea. Of course, Gujaratis are made in peace, and Gujaratis are made for peace. It is our duty to upgrade peace and at the same time to spread peace. Let us become the greatest peacemakers on this earth. Once again, I thank Aina and TV9 and all the dignitaries on this stage and every one of you who are actually present for your families and for your health and happiness. Thank you for being here and showing the world that we can make a difference of being good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. धन्यवाद आभार पूज्य ब्रह्म विहारी स्वामी जी. You rightly mentioned that Pravasi Gujarati Parv as the event of reservation, transformation and regeneration of our values. आइए चलते हैं इस कार्यक्रम में आगे के प्रवचन की ओर.
બિલકુલ સ્વામીજીએ ખૂબ સરસ વાત કરી કે ગુજરાતીના ખમીરની વાત કરી, સાહસની વાત કરી અને આજે પાછળ પંખી ઉડી રહ્યા છે. ચોક્કસ વાત યાદ આવે છે કે આજે આ એ મંચ એ પ્રકારનો છે કે વિદેશમાં સ્થાયી થયેલા આ જ પ્રવાસી પંખીઓ આજે અહીંયા ઉપસ્થિત છે. એ અમારા સૌના માટે સૌભાગ્યની વાત છે. એકવાર ફરીવાર આપ સૌના માટે તાળીઓના ગડગડાટ. અને હવે આધ્યાત્મની વાત નીકળી છે ત્યારે આમંત્રિત કરીશ આવા જ એક વ્યક્તિને કે જે લગભગ 150 દેશોમાં પોતાની સેવા આપી રહ્યા છે, આધ્યાત્મનો પ્રચાર પ્રસાર કરી રહ્યા છે. આમંત્રિત કરીશ સ્પિરિચ્યુઅલ લીડર શ્રી કમલેશભાઈ પટેલ દાજીને. આપ આવો અને આપની વાત મંચ સમક્ષ મૂકો. શ્રી કમલેશભાઈ પટેલ દાજી.
My hearty pranams to one and all. It has been a very long session full of statistics and inspiration from Bihari Ji. He was talking about transformation, preservation and going beyond. I'm a person who thinks, how are we going to achieve it? What are the means to achieve it? From early childhood, I was moved by the life of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. It used to bring me tears of sadness, not having a guru of that caliber, and naturally falling in love with such a personality would lead me to a person like Swami Vivekananda. But then alas, where is Swami Vivekananda today and where is Ramakrishna Paramahansa? So you remain in a state of confusion. Nevertheless, prayers were regularly being offered. I wanted to become like Swamiji, Swami Vivekananda. One day I left my home, entered the Shivji temple on the bank of Narmada river, and there many Aghori Babas were present. They were watching me from morning onward, and one elderly person came. He must have been of 82, 83 years of age. Bete, kya chahte ho? I was about 18 years then. ने बोला साहब आपका शिष्य बना दो मुझे. तो उनकी आंखों में करुणा आ गई, some tears, sadness. said बेटे 82 ईयर में मैं घूमता ही रहा हूँ ये गिरवे कपड़े पहन के, अभी तक ईश्वर नहीं देखा मैंने. तू घर चला जा, serve your parents, look after your family. ठीक है. Same month I came back to Ahmedabad to study. I was then in third year of pharmacy college, LM College of Pharmacy. There I met my friend, again Gujarati, settled in Zambia. He entered my room and he said, Krish, I see you meditate, but you are so disturbed. You are not, drawn inside. You're not attaining any level of consciousness. So what to do? I don't have a guru. He says, come, I'll take you to a lady. She will put you in trance right away. Being Sunday, we took a rickshaw. He took me to her location, her place. She was a grihastha lady, very ordinary, didn't speak English. She asked me a few fundamental questions. Why am I sharing this story? Because it's so relevant to our existence today. She asked me a question, why do you want to meditate? I said, I want to become like Swami Vivekananda. I want to go and take the blessings of the great people who are, walking on our land, India, the auspicious land. Go into jungle, into forest and do my tapasya. He says, why would you do that? You believe God is everywhere. Why would you search for God there? It is not that God is lost. You are lost. If He is everywhere, He is in your heart, He is in your home also. That argument touched me. Then when I asked her about, I would also like to become celibate and ascetic. Then she quoted example from her Guruji then. He used to say, God was not a fool to create two sexes if one was enough. You better respect the other sex also. Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma believes the creation was created by Durga. Ma Durga, we call her, right? That represents automatically you better respect sisters. They are not your enemies. They are not to be protected from. They are not going to kill you. They are not going to spoil your sannyasa. They are to be worshipped. You wash their feet and worship them. That is Hindu culture. It has been perverted by many so-called religions today. This Gungat business was never there in India. It was perverted because of fear, and many saints who came forward, they spoiled their minds. They looked down upon them. And that is the main reason why India continues to degrade and fall. Economic growth is not what India represents. Economies comes and goes. Many empires came, Roman Empire, Turkish Empire, what not, Mughal Empire. Where are they today? India thrives because of its spiritual foundation. This spiritual foundation today is very weak. People have been talking of Garba and the culture. Garba is not a culture. It's a pastime, entertainment. And what has become of it? Something that you do in the worship of Durga Ma, Ambaji, with a lot of reverence, a lot of respect. You dance away with joy. But today, it is profane. It is called disco garba. We have to be ashamed of this culture. How long can you tolerate this nonsense? And if you like to see the statistics, I'm not going to give you economic statistics. This is something will remind you how fallen we, the Gujaratis, are. You may consider many speakers have spoken how good you are. I'm trying to show you the other side. We are all great people, good. But it's a hollow greatness. Where is the character foundation? Where is the moral foundation? Greed everywhere. Where is the peace in people? They're always running around. Where is stability? Garba, for example. Do you know the maximum abortion? You connect to any gynecological hospital, the pharmacy, where the morning after pills are being sold. Two statistics you need to know. Which is the period between when maximum abortion happens and maximum sale of morning after pill happens. It is between Dashera and Diwali. Does that tell you anything? Are you such a proud Gujaratis? Now he listening to this. And what happens when Ganesha is being thrown into rivers? They pollute the rivers. Is this the tradition we want to adopt? You read Vedas. Where will you find Ganesha in Vedas even once mentioned? Spirituality, of course. We say we are spiritual, but do you understand the meaning of spirituality? What is the difference between religion and spirituality? All the religions, they say we are better than the other. They keep fighting. Spirituality is an equalizer. Religion teaches you dogmas, makes you great, makes you feel great. Oh, we are the best. Gujaratis are the best. Hindus are best. That creates enmity. When our sages and saints say, the Atman that is within me is also in the other person. But this is a knowledge, superficial knowledge, bookish knowledge. When we do experience that, when we move from Hridaya Chakra to Atma Chakra in our yogic journey, only then we experience the Atma within and Atman in another person as same. And when you do witness this, that's when the knowledge becomes redundant. You don't need knowledge. You don't need belief system. We believe in God. Everybody says, oh, I do believe in God. You ask your grandmother, or mother, or father, do you believe in God? They'll say, yes, we do believe in God. You ask them, why do you believe in God? What will be their answer? Our religion says so. Our Shastras say so. But what about you? What is your system? Have you experienced? Then there is no word. Knowledge may be great, but without experience, you are lost. Just as currency, you are all energies, and especially NRI people know how the currencies are supported. Currency is supported by the political environment of a country, gold backing, other resources that backs the currency. Without this backing, currency devaluates. Knowledge, without the backing of experience, it remains superficial, and you will ever remain thirsty. You can read the entire Gita, you can memorize it like hell, but without experiencing what Lord Krishna is talking about, sthit pragya, that can never happen without meditation. And what is meditation? Going inward. I'll share with you a little episode which my father taught me. A small story kind of a thing. He said, you have not seen any being born. I was too small. He would say that when a mother delivers a child for the first time in this world, baby begins to cry. And this cry of a baby is the first time and the last time. Whenever baby cries, mother smiles. If baby doesn't cry at that moment of birth, mother will become very anxious until doctor tilts the baby and taps the back, resuscitate heart or the lungs, and see if the baby would cry and breathe. And if still the baby does not cry, everyone in the family cries because life force did not come with the body. That life force we call Atman, soul. It doesn't really matter by what name we call it. But since birth, till we kick the bucket, till our last breath, it is with us. It is not in any temple. It is not in Dwarka or Mathura. It is not in Kashi or Banaras. It's in your heart. And the moment we start looking for this outside, can your soul bestow real peace? Think about it. You're looking for, you're worshipping every goddamn thing that appears in front of you. Any statue you see, you'll bow down. And why do you bow down? You're afraid. It is the fear that makes you bow down. Religion uses only two beautiful instruments. One is fear, fear of hell. And second, temptation of heaven. If you do this, you'll go to heaven. If you don't do this, you'll be punished. These are the two instruments they use. And what about the soul that gives you life? No one pays attention. Mandir hai, ghar mein hai. You bow down. By mistake, if you go out in hurry and suddenly you remember in your car, oh, I didn't do namaskaram to our God. They make you turn and come home and do namaskar and then go. What is this tamasa? Is this religion? This is not religion. This is not even spirituality. This is not even human being. So we have to really, really rethink about how we need to carry our life. If you really, really want to become happy, happiness is not about having things, but being happy without having anything in life. Can you be that? It does not really also mean that I have to shun my bhautik jivan or material life. If you have the ability to make million, go ahead and make 10 million. There is nothing wrong in making money. But for a few minutes, say thank you, close your eyes and try to experience that deity, that Atman that has been giving us life. Even for a few minutes you sit and close your eyes and try to experience that deity who is within your heart. Be respectful to that. And you will learn slowly as you move your attention. And it will happen automatically when you move from the Hridaya Chakra to Atma Chakra. And when you start witnessing that Atman outside and Atman inside is also same, you become like one of those Vedic sages who used to see God in the sky, who used to witness God in the mountains, who used to witness gods in the trees and everywhere else. That's why in Vedic times, there was not even one temple, not even one. And we are fighting for temples and glorifying temple building. This is my personal view. You can all have as many temples as you like, but without going inward, this external worship is just nothing but a drama. No one has achieved God just by bowing the head. You have to bow your heart. You have to melt your heart and respect all. Over and above, please remember, this Garba culture has to stop. If you really want India to become a spiritual nation, much worse happens during these times, and the people take liberty. If I can do this during these holy hours, what all is possible later on during unholy hours. So we are granting freedom unnecessarily under the pretext of religion. Religion has been dividing humanity for so long. Many sanstha's, all spiritual people, they never come together. Have you noticed that? Terrorists will come together. Gundas will come together. They'll share the informations, new technology, how you can destroy another country or how to terrorize people better. They share that knowledge. Saints, sages, they don't want to share anything with anyone. Why? They want to become unique. They have their own ego. Same thing when it comes to becoming rich. Nothing wrong in becoming rich. Many good people, they say, I don't want to become rich. Why? Some good people say, I don't want to go into politics also. Since all politicians are bad, not all politicians are bad though. There are great human beings. You all know who are good and who are bad. If good people stop earning money, if good people stop entering into politics, what will happen? Only bad people will go after money. You're opening the ways for them. only bad people will go into politics, then you should not complain. Every good human being must earn tons and tons of money and share it in the society. Politicians, good-hearted people should enter into politics, not being discouraged by what we see in day-to-day life. I wouldn't say anything further. You are all wise. I have said more than enough. Try to lead a balanced life, integrate spirituality with Bhautik Jivan. Bhautik Jivan is not against spirituality. You see all avatar Purushas, all gods, Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, their families, their brothers, all our sages from Vedas, they led a complete family life. Only in family life you know what is sacrifice, you know what is love. It is with this, use your heart and make your own decision how to follow my path towards Godhood. Thank you.
धन्यवाद पूज्य कमलेश भाई पटेल दाजी, आपने अपने विचार जो थे वो सभा के समक्ष रखे और स्थित प्रज्ञता, ध्यान, सहज ध्यान, इसके बारे में आपके जो विचार थे वो आपने अपने सामने रखे, मानवता के विचार। और अब समय है मंच पर महानुभाव जो विराजित थे उनके स्वागत का, उनको फेलिसिटेट करने का। फेलिसिटेशन ऑफ द डिग्निटरीज। आई वुड लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट श्री प्रफुल्ल भाई नायक to come over to the stage and Shri Barun Das, CEO and MD TV9 to come over to the stage.
મંચસ્થ મહાનુભાવોનું સન્માન કરીશું. પ્રફુલ્લભાઈ અને બરુણ દાસને વિનંતી તેઓ મંચ પર આવે અને મંચસ્થથી महानुभाव છે તેમને સન્માનિત કરે.
पुष्पगुच्छ से हम महानुभावों का सम्मान करेंगे. आईना इंडियाना प्रेसिडेंट श्री प्रफुल्ल भाई नायक અને શ્રી બરુણ દાસજી. સર્વપ્રથમ સન્માન કરીશું પૂજ્ય બ્રહ્મવિહારી સ્વામીજીનું. આપણે સૌ જાણીએ છીએ એમ બ્રિટન, યુકેમાં ઉછેર, પણ દિલ્હી, ગાંધીનગર, ન્યૂ જર્સીના બેપ્સના મંદિર હોય, અક્ષરધામ હોય કે અબુધાબીનું મંદિર હોય, આ બધામાં એક થિંક ટેન્ક અને જેમના આશીર્વાદ હંમેશા યુથ પર વરસતા રહ્યા છે, પૂજનીય પૂજ્ય બ્રહ્મવિહારી સ્વામીજી.
તાળીઓના ગડગડાટથી એમને વધાવી લઈએ. ત્યાર પછી સન્માન કરીશું સ્પિરિચ્યુઅલ લીડર શ્રી કમલેશભાઈ પટેલ દાજીનું. હાર્ટફુલનેસથી પ્રચલિત શ્રી રામચંદ્ર મિશન 150થી વધુ દેશોમાં તે આધ્યાત્મનો પ્રચાર પ્રસાર કરી રહ્યા છે.
He has been the President of Sri Ramchandra Mission, a non-profit organization founded in 1945. દાજી, આઈના અને TV9 બંને આ તમામ મહાનુભાવોનું સ્વાગત અને સન્માન કરી રહ્યા છે. ત્રીજા ક્રમે એવોર્ડ વિનિંગ ફિલ્મ મેકર નલીન પાન, મિસ્ટર પાન નલીન.
એમને બેસ્ટ ઓફ લક કહેવું પડે અત્યારથી જ, કેમ કે એમની ફિલ્મ છેલ્લો શો એ નોમિનેટ થઈ છે ઓસ્કાર એવોર્ડ માટે, તો બેસ્ટ ઓફ લક.
એ ઉપરાંત સમસેરા, વેલી ઓફ ફ્લાવર્સ અને એંગ્રી ઇન્ડિયન ગોડેસ જેવી અનેક ફિલ્મો. એ પછીના ક્રમે યોગેશ મહેતા, CEO of Petrochem in Middle East, the largest chemical distributor in the Middle East, has been phenomenal. યોગેશ મહેતા કા સ્વાગત સન્માન.
દુબઈના પેટ્રો કિંગ કહેવાય છે યોગેશભાઈ મહેતા. અને હવે સ્વાગત કરીશું, સન્માન કરીશું આશીષભાઈ ઠક્કરનું.
Ashish Thakkar founded his own company Mara Group in 1996 at the age of only 15. એક યુવા સાહસિક ઉદ્યોગપતિ છે આશીષ ઠક્કર.
અને હવે સન્માન કરીશું પ્રેસિડેન્ટ ઓફ FIA અંકુરભાઈ વૈદ્યનું. આ તમામ મહાનુભાવો દેશ અને વિદેશમાં ગુજરાતનો ડંકો વગાડી રહ્યા છે, જે તે દેશના GDPમાં પણ આ તમામ મહાનુભાવોનો એક સિંહ ફાળો ચોક્કસ હોઈ શકે છે. તો આ મહાનુભાવો એ ગુજરાતની ખમીર, ગુજરાતના સાહસને ચોમેર પ્રસરાવવાનું કામ કરી રહ્યા છે.
સુનિલભાઈ નાયક, આયના અમેરિકાના પ્રેસિડેન્ટ, એમનું પણ સન્માન થઈ રહ્યું છે. જોરદાર તાળીઓથી આપણે આ તમામ સ્વાગતને વધાવીએ, કારણ કે ગુજરાતીપણાનું આ સ્વાગત છે, ગૌરવ બનતા ગુજરાતીઓનું આ સ્વાગત છે મિત્રો. અને હવે પૂજ્ય દાજી શ્રી કમલેશભાઈ પટેલને વિનંતી કે તેઓ એમનું એક પુસ્તક મંચ પરના તમામ મહાનુભાવોને આપે. મંચ પરની જે વ્યવસ્થા છે એમાં જે મિત્રો છે એમને વિનંતી કે તેઓ મંચ પર આ પુસ્તક લઈને આવે. આવી રહેલું એક પુસ્તક દાજી, એમને વિનંતી કે તેઓ મંચ પરના મહાનુભાવોને આ પુસ્તક ભેટ રૂપે સુપ્રત કરશો. This book is full of wisdom, Daji's wisdom of many years to combine ancient Indian wisdom with modern scientific research. સાયન્ટિફિક વૈજ્ઞાનિક રહસ્ય અને ડહાપણ કોઠા સૂજ એનું એક કોમ્બિનેશન આ પુસ્તકમાં છે, જેમાં દાજીના પોતાના વિચારો છે. આ પુસ્તકને આપણે વધાવી લઈએ.
ખૂબ ખૂબ તાળીઓથી આ પ્રસંગને વધાવી લઈએ. આધ્યાત્મિક ક્ષેત્રે એક મોટું નામ કમલેશભાઈ પટેલ દાજીનું. તેમનું આ પુસ્તક એ આપ સૌના જીવનમાં પણ આધ્યાત્મનો નવો સંચાર કરશે તેવી અપેક્ષા રાખીએ.
ધન્યવાદ. આ સાથે જ આ ઉદ્ઘાટન સમારોહ અહીં સંપન્ન થાય છે. ચિરાગભાઈ,
બિલકુલ.
શ્રોતા દર્શકોનો પણ આભાર માનીએ. આપ સૌ અહીં દૂર દૂરથી આવ્યા છો. મંચ પરના મહાનુભાવો જે અહીં બિરાજમાન છે એમનો પણ TV9 અને આઈના વતી અમે આભાર માનીએ છીએ.
સાથે સાથે પણ અપેક્ષા રાખીએ છીએ કે આપ સૌએ ક્યાંય જવાનું નથી, કેમ કે હવે અલગ અલગ સેશન અમે લોકો શરૂ કરાવી રહ્યા છીએ. અલગ અલગ મહાનુભાવો અહીંયા આવશે, વિવિધ વિષયો પર તેમના મંતવ્ય રજૂ કરશે. અને આ સેશન માટે આમંત્રિત કરીશ અમારા સહયોગી શિવાની અને નરેન્દ્રસિંહને. આપ આવો અને સ્ટેજ સંભાળો.
ધન્યવાદ. થેન્ક યુ.